I'm starting a new YouTube series with a little behind the scenes. So right now we have 4 ultramarathon documentaries out, which have about 20,000 views, which is incredible. But what I want to do is share in between these races what's going on in life. I have an interesting backstory. I think a lot of people ask questions, about all the things I'm passionate about. I talk openly about sobriety, addiction, mental health, family, work, things that I think are relatable to a lot of people. So what I'd like to do with this first video is just share maybe a little bit of my origin story. Who am I? Why am I here? Why do I feel like I should share? So first off, I'm a husband and father of 3 children. I grew up in North Vancouver, British Columbia, and one of the coolest things about YouTube is that I get messages from all over the world. I was talking to someone from Ireland yesterday, and so that's why I want to share this message. I think these stories and these topics resonate with people no matter where you are from in the world. So I grew up in a rough situation in my house. There was a lot of fighting, there was alcohol abuse, there was many things which I can go into detail later if you guys are interested. Once I moved out when I was 19 years old, I kind of went crazy, to be honest. I started drinking, partying like most people, but I took it to the next level. And I did that for about 5 years, to the point where, I had a situation where I was drinking and partying and not sleeping, and I was working in a hotel in downtown Vancouver, and one night I had a panic attack, and this panic attack led me to go to the doctor the next day. I went to the doctor prescribed pills with no real tools on. He didn't really ask me what I was going through, what I was struggling with, just gave me medication and said, here you go, good luck. And so this leads into why I'm so passionate about health and wellness, is because it took me forever to dig myself out of that hole. So I was about 20 years old or 21 years old when that happened. And so I started the journey on taking medication for anxiety. I had a severe anxiety disorder, and to the point where I had to take medication just to go to social functions. So I struggled with that a lot. And I know a lot of people are dealing with anxiety, so I can go into more detail in a different video if it's something you guys want to hear about. But eventually I started exercising and eating better, and my anxiety started getting better. So I saw a correlation between, living a healthy lifestyle and feeling better. So, but that didn't stop the drinking, and I continued to binge drink. I wasn't like an everyday drinker. We find certain events, binge drink, and end up in a bad situation, either in the drunk tank or in a fight, or some bad argument with my partner. And so one day I Googled, is binge drinking a form of alcoholism? And it is, for sure. And so 13 years ago, the last time I ever drank alcohol, I went out with some friends and ended up in the drunk tank once again for about the 7th time. I came home and I knew if I didn't quit, I was going to lose everything. I was going to lose my family, maybe my career, and I decided to quit that day. So a big part of my story and journey is sobriety. That one decision changed the rest of my life, because I feel like alcohol was holding me back. And to be honest, I'm not against alcohol. If you drink and you can handle it, great, but I know I can't. So I quit drinking about 13 years ago, which is one of my proudest achievements. I remember going to a doctor about alcoholism and said, what can I do? And he said, to be honest, to quit cold turkey, you're not going to be able to do it. And so in my mind, I thought, you know what? I'm going to prove this guy wrong. So he told me that about 13 years ago, and here we are today. And that leads to what I got into. So I got into training, is more specifically running. And running for me is just, if I go for a run, it relieves stress, it relieves all the worries we have in life. And so being an addict, I dove head first. And, the videos that I've shown more recently, the ones maybe you've seen if you've been subscribing to my channel for a while, are these big races. So we have a film on Death Race 2023, which is 72 miles or 118 kilometers. We got that one done. Next up, we went to Fatdog 120, which was a massive race, and we got that one done. We've done 2 other races, just did 2 more races. So what I share on here is these races. That's the main, goal of this, but I want to do this in between stuff, share a little bit about my training regime, what it looks like. I have a full-time job. Like I said, I have 3 kids. I still find time to train, and I have, a 200-mile, 322-kilometer ultra marathon called the Divide 200 coming up in 3 weeks. And so we're shooting another video there, another documentary, but I want to do in-between videos. So I've been nervous to shoot this. I've been holding off, stalling, doing all the things. And so I just want to get this one out there into the public. If any of these topics interest you or you want to hear more about any of it, please let me know. I'm a real person. I'm just a regular guy, nothing fancy. Just put in the work, and I want to share my story with you. If that resonates, let me know. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And I can't wait to share more with you.